Welcome back to Real Life Recaps. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Stories. The first story was posted by Throw R, a visible pair. I'm 30 female and my boyfriend is 29 male. We've been together for about 11 years, but lately I've been feeling really resentful towards him. What should I do? We've been dating for 11 years, and while things were good initially, we've hit some major bumps recently. In 2021, my father passed away during COVID. My family wanted to meet him, but his mom wasn't keen on our marriage, so we postponed it. We tried to arrange a meeting last October, but just before it, he stopped talking to me for 2 weeks without explanation. The day of the meeting, he said his mom wanted to clarify some things, and I should come to his place before my family arrived. I refused to do that and went with my family instead. His parents were rude and dismissive, which felt humiliating. We broke up briefly but got back together. Since then, things have been tough. Here's a rundown. He recommended me for a job and asked for a 1-month salary as a referral bonus. I started paying him in installments, but he took more money than agreed and kept some of it. He began snooping through my phone and even emailed my brother's chats to himself. He checked my bank balance and asked to borrow money for a trip, promising to repay it over 6 months. He hasn't returned the money he already owes me. His family laid out a list of expectations for the wedding. He insisted on splitting finances, but broke up with me when I asked him to share wedding expenses. Later, he wanted to reconcile but kept asking for the referral money and the certificate for an expensive ring he'd given me, and then demanded back during fights. Now he's asking to get back together, but I'm unsure. We've been together for 11 years, but things have been rocky since last October. What should I do? From the comments, this commenter said, block him. He will not change. You've spent 11 years of your life with this guy. Time to cut him off and move forward. And this is just about how bad of a partner he is without getting into the family issues. Don't buy into the sunk cost fallacy that just because you've been together your entire adult life that you shouldn't move on. You definitely should. I happen to agree with this commenter, and most of the other comments were telling her to run and don't look back, which I completely agree with as well. But what kind of advice would you give the OP? And now on to our second story posted by Throw R.A. HDV. My boyfriend, male 34 of 2 months, expects me, female 25, to help out more with his toddler, although I've expressed that I'm not entirely comfortable doing that yet. Should I be doing more? I've known my boyfriend since mid-April, and we became official in May. I also met his child in May. I do not have children of my own, and I've never dated anyone with a child. However, I did bond with the 2-year-old and enjoyed her company overall. I have babysat the child 3 times, which was something I wasn't entirely comfortable with, but I volunteered because I wanted to help out and I figured it would help build a better bond with his child. That was a huge step for me. When we're all together, the toddler would much rather be around her dad, so I'm pretty hands-off once that occurs. I'm also hands-off with disciplining, because I do not feel comfortable doing that yet, although the father has said it's fine. When I babysit the child, she isn't as unruly as she is when her dad is around. So I may have to say stop, or sit down a few times, but that's about it. He recently got upset because he said that I do not help with his child enough. I've expressed numerous times that I'm not fully comfortable being a full-blown mother figure yet, but that's not to say I do not help at all. There are times when the child is being a little wild and her dad has to consistently remind her to settle down, but I'm not really sure what to do in those moments, so I don't do anything, and he gets frustrated. I do what I can, and I only do what feels right to me. I also do not want to do something that I felt was okay regarding his child and risk my boyfriend getting upset with me. Am I wrong for being cautious and/or timid and not jumping in more? Should I be doing more, considering that they've been in my life for only 2 months? Edit. For more clarification, I volunteered to watch his child because of random work conflicts and I simply wanted to help. It wasn't frequent, it wasn't his idea. I genuinely do not think he was looking for me to be a babysitter, but I can agree that though he said that he wanted a relationship, He was probably looking for a mother figure more than anything, and yes, the mother is still present. I haven't had any issues with her. Everything that is being said are all things I have already felt or thought about. However, I couldn't help but feel bad when I was told I wasn't helping enough, so I wanted an outside perspective, but I hear y'all. A breakup has occurred. Thanks for your replies. What kind of advice would you give this young lady? I'd simply tell her to dump him, and he's sketchy. He introduces the child way too early in a new relationship and then demands her to be more hands-on. Like what? That man is crazy. Our next story was posted by Express Butterfly 274. My fiancé, 31 female, and mother, 64 female, had a falling out. What should I do? Hey Reddit, I 33. Male was in a relationship with my partner, 31 female, for 4 years, and we recently got engaged. Everything seemed perfect, and I thought we had the right ingredients for a long-lasting relationship. We had a good rapport with both sets of parents, great friends, and stable jobs. We got engaged in March, and that's when things started to go south. Initially, my partner wanted my parents involved in the wedding planning since I travel a lot for work. They got along well, and I was kept in the loop through FaceTime. But somewhere along the line, the relationship between my mother and my fiancé deteriorated. They started arguing over catering, the bridal party, and the band. I stepped in to mediate and sided with my fiancé on most issues, but also asked her to reassess some points, which she did. I also talked to my mom and put my foot down on certain matters. Things calmed down until I had my parents over for dinner. When the wedding came up, my mother began screaming at my fiancé, and things went downhill fast. My fiancé made some harsh comments about my family, and my mother said some horrible things about her. There was a lot of pent-up anger that I hadn't noticed before. I had to force my parents to leave because my mother wouldn't stop. Over the next few months, I tried to mediate and suggested counseling, but neither side was interested. Then my fiancé gave me an ultimatum. Me or your parents? My parents gave me a similar ultimatum. Us or your fiancé? I was gutted. On one hand, my fiancé is the person I plan to spend my life with, but her ultimatum and comments about my family seem out of line. On the other hand, my parents have always done right by me and I trust them. I'm scared that if we get divorced in the future, I'll be left with no family. My ideal world involves them coming together and moving on, but I'm stuck and don't know what to do. I'd love to hear your thoughts and advice on this. Thanks for listening. Okay, buddy, I think you're delusional if you think that your fiancé is wrong after what your mother did to you, and you need to look long and hard at your mother because she's the problem. You just need to take your rose-colored glasses off and see your real mother. Go completely no contact with her, and if she shows up at your house, just call the police on her. That's all that your mother deserves. Now on to the comment section. This one commenter cracked me up with what they told the OP, and that comment was, "You're 33 years old. Why the hell are you trying to mediate with mommy for your wedding? This marriage will be hell for your GF if your mother believes her way is the only way things should be done. Your wife was gracious enough to invite your mother's participation in wedding plans, and your mother abused that privilege. You, instead of shutting parents down, keep trying to mediate. What the hell is wrong with you? It's not your mom's place to force her choices on your wife. This has the look of a future MIL from hell. Your parents are so out of line, and that you don't know what to do when your mom says her or us does not bode well for the future of any marriage has for you. OMG, are you listening to yourself? I trust my parents. Man, why don't you just let them arrange a marriage for you with the person they think appropriate? My husband and his dad would have shut his mom down immediately when she started this BS. I can just imagine your mom when children come along. She doesn't want to follow the new health guidelines for feed or anything else. Do I know this to be true? No, but the vibe appears to be there. For a parent to say me or her, and for you not to have balls to walk away from your mommy, says everything. My then 23-year-old husband would not have hesitated to walk out had his mother has said this. But here you are asking Reddit. Just wow. Do you agree with this commenter? What kind of advice would you give to this OP? Let me know. This last story was posted by Throw R.A. Lidaligal. I think my 38 female husband, 40 male, cheated on me yesterday and could have been going on for longer. How do I find the truth? My husband and I have been together for 17 years, married for almost 15, and we have 5 kids, ranging from a teenager to a toddler. Everything in our relationship is great. He's an amazing husband and father. He provides everything we have, makes sure my emotional and physical needs are met. He makes sure we're always having fun and things are exciting. He showers me with affection, brings me flowers often. He's everything I could possibly want. I try to be the most loving and affectionate wife I can be for him and always tell him that I love and appreciate him. Yesterday morning, I saw 2 texts on my husband's phone from a woman's name I didn't recognize that said, "Come and get it," and "You'll be surprised," with red hearts at the end of both messages. I was too shocked and mentally distraught to say anything and pretended that everything was okay. I couldn't check his phone since he left for work almost immediately after the notifications came. He came home close to an hour late last night and just said that there was traffic. But I was tracking his location, and he went out of his way and stopped in some random neighborhood for about 30 minutes. I thought we were in a great place, so I really don't want to believe he's cheating, but all the evidence points towards it. We watched a movie together last night and took the kids to the beach with some family friends today, but I'm still spiraling over this and don't know what to do. He has a wife and 5 beautiful kids who love him. I just can't understand why he would throw all that away. How do I find out the truth? The first commenter said, "Before you find the truth, you need to decide what you are going to do with it." Then the second commenter said, "Totally agree. You saw the messages. Decide what you are going to do before you confront him. You need to prepare yourself before you allow him to have any say. He may admit it, he may gaslight you, he may beg for forgiveness. You have to figure out in advance what you want your future to look like. Also, please get fully tested for STDs. But what kind of advice would you give to this OP? I'd tell her to get the evidence of him cheating and then divorce him and get everything she can, money and property-wise. He deserves no less." More info. I tried to make it short in the op. This was just my night to cook. But it is all the women that are cooking. His aunt is a single mother, and her sons have never been taught to cook, and their girlfriend's idea of cooking is PBJ. She set the chores as this was her idea, and she paid for it. We all sent the money to her. I just feel so low I'm stuck in this tiny bedroom, smallest in the Airbnb BTW, and being the only married couple kinda felt like a slight, while everyone outside was relaxing. Husband was hanging with me, but his mother asked to speak with him. It's been an hour. I tried to go out, but they all got silent and quiet and just stared at me till I went inside. I'm glad her son and husband both stuck up for her, and I also hope that her husband goes complete no contact with his vile family. But what do you think about it? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you, and have a beautiful day.